Our next guest is U.S. Ambassador to NATO. That would be Ambassador Matthew Whitaker. Netanyahu says, look, this Palestinian state's never going to happen. So where do we go from here, Mr. Ambassador?
Well, it's good to be with you, Stuart. On the Israel-Palestine issue, I mean, it's just virtue signaling by certain countries that, have no solution for the situation. They just want to, feel like they're doing something. Obviously, the hard work is happening right now. It's getting rid of Hamas, the terrible terrorist organization that continues to fight. And, Israel wants peace. They want the fighting to end. They want the killing to end. But unfortunately, Hamas continues to shoot at them. And, the only way you can respond is with strength and make sure that they regret, continuing to fight. So we'll hope that ultimately resolves.
Well, so this is just coming into us this morning. Hamas wrote a letter to President Trump requesting that he guarantee a 60-day truce in Gaza in exchange for releasing half the hostages. You think that's going to fly?
Well, I mean, I don't want to speak for President Trump, but it would seem like that is kind of a false compromise, when only half of what he said, and it's very clear U.S. policy is return all the hostages and end the fighting. And until they agree to that, I don't think there's much to talk about.
Mr. Ambassador, Russia just unleashed another strike on Ukraine, 600 drones used. This is President Trump and Ukraine Zelensky plan to meet this week. It seems that nothing is changing in this war. And we also have this report of Russian jets spending 12 minutes in the airspace of Estonia, a NATO member. Putin just keeps on pushing. At what point is there a very strong response?
Well, the key is that when the Polish incursion from the drones happened, NATO immediately scrambled fighter jets, shot down some of the drones. And on this Estonian incursion with the jet fighters, we also scrambled F-35s and chased them out of Estonian airspace. Now, the question, Stuart, ultimately is that do we want to go up the escalation ladder? And we're having meetings tomorrow in Brussels where I'll be in attendance, where we're going to talk about these very issues with the Supreme Allied Commander and our allies and find out kind of what we need to do, if more. But, it's working. Our air policing is working, is what I'm going to tell you.
But it seems like Putin is just pushing us around.
Well, he can't push us around. He's barely making any gains in Ukraine on the ground there. The bottom line is we need strong responses, but at the same time, I think we need to be stronger. It's what happened coming out of the Hague summit. Everyone's agreeing to spend more money. We are ramping up our militaries. People are buying F-35 fighter jets, upgrading their technology. NATO's getting stronger by the day, and you'll see continuing responses that show strength, and that strength is ultimately what's going to guarantee the peace.
We're not going to impose secondary sanctions on those people who buy Russian oil?
Well, we need our NATO allies to quit buying Russian oil, and I've had some very strong conversations, and we'll continue those as soon as I have a chance to sit down with our allies. President said that we can't be 100% strong and unified if we have NATO allies that are buying Russian oil, and we need to work to transition them off Russian oil. I was in Poland last week, and Poland no longer buys any Russian oil. They have completely gone off of that, and we need all NATO allies to do that because we need the price of oil to be low. We need to quit funding Russia's war machine, and I think those circumstances will what's ultimately going to create what's necessary for peace in that war in Ukraine.
Ambassador Matt Whitaker, thank you very much for being with us, Matt. We'll see you again soon. Mr. Ambassador, thank you.
Good to see you, Stuart. Thank you.